Hello, everybody. It's Marcus from PageProof here, and welcome to the PageProof Academy on the Magic Tools. So what I'm going to take you through today is a deep dive into that special little icon on the left-hand side of the PageProof proofing screen, which is the Magic Tools, and we'll go through and take a look at, in detail, what each one of those features does and explain some of the things that you can use it for. So without too much more, we'll jump straight in and take a look through the Magic Tools. So let's get started. So here I am on a proofing screen, a typical proofing screen in PageProof. And here you can see this proof I have gone through. We've got some markup on here. And over on the left-hand side, you'll see that third icon down, we've got a little magic wand, some sprinkles on it. This is the Magic Tools icon. And when you click on the Magic Tools, it reveals to you all of the things that you can do which don't fit into the basic markup and zooming that most people will spend their time in. So the Magic Tools is where we put the magic items, as you can probably imagine. So the first thing that I'm going to look at inside of here is the keyboard shortcuts. And actually the keyboard shortcuts is an amazing part of PageProof that a lot of people don't know about. And for those of you that have joined this webinar, this is going to be your secret sauce for the rest of your PageProof life. The keyboard shortcuts, when you click on that icon, it reveals to you all of the keyboard shortcuts that this screen will recognize and act on. And as you can see, for this particular screen, there is a lot. And the great thing here is all the ones that are in the dark gray color, those are ones that you can double click on and you can change the keyboard shortcut to a key that you prefer. So all of those ones that are in that sort of dark gray are ones that you're able to change to something that you prefer. So that's sort of tip number one here. The other thing that I'm going to point out is go through and look at them all. Some of the highlights inside of here, which are super useful. And this screen, by the way, is contextual. So if you're looking at a video proof, you'll see that the keyboard shortcuts are slightly different. So if I bounce across actually, and we take a look inside of a video proof, you'll see that you've got things in here like frame forward and frame back and skip forward 5 seconds and back. These are things that relate to a video proof. Obviously, those frame options are not going to show up inside of a PDF proof. But I thought I'd just show you that contextual piece right there. Okay. So let's go back. We're back on the PDF proof now, and you'll see some of the things that I want to call out here. Things like I quickly want to look at the page grid. So you can just hit P and boom, the page grid comes up, shows you all the pages, so you can jump to another page. So that's down here, show pages. Things like the focus mode, which I'm going to show you next, just hit F and you go into focus mode. Hit escape to jump out. And that's one thing I will point out here. Whenever you're in one of those special modes inside of PageProof, just hit the escape key and it'll jump you back to the main proofing screen. Things like increasing the zoom, decreasing the zoom. I mean, that's the up and down arrows. You can do that. If you want to nudge in on the zoom, just a fraction, it's shift up and shift down. So you'll see those ones inside of here. And also using the zoom between different percentage states, if you tap the Z key, and then use your trackpad or your mouse to sort of use the scroll wheel, it'll zoom using your mouse, your trackpad or your mouse wheel, which is also a really great thing. And then the last couple I'll call out here, hit the R to rotate your proof. You just hit the R multiple times and it'll keep spinning around. So there's a whole bunch of things in here which it'd be great if you wanted to be the power user of PageProof. This is the screen that you do it. So Magic Tools, keyboard shortcuts. Okay, I will actually flick back to the video proof because there's one down here that's important if you are working heavily in collections. So if you are looking at a proof inside of a collection, and a collection being a whole bunch of proofs that are sort of connected together by this collection concept that we have in PageProof, and you just want to move between the different proofs quickly, shift left, shift right will move you through the collection seamlessly. So again, really great to learn the keyboard shortcuts and then pass them on to your colleagues as if you invented them. It's a good thing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Going back to the magic tools, let's have a look at this one here, which is focus mode. So as you can see on this screen, there are a lot of options and things that I can work on inside of PageProof. But sometimes you just want to almost go into a mode where it's just the proof and you. It's just, you want to have just the two of you. So if you go into focus mode, we just essentially make everything disappear and give you just the basics. So you can focus on the proof. You've got the ability to comment, you've got the comments, but everything else has been removed from the interface, and we've zoomed the proof up so you get the most viewing opportunity for your proofing as well. So there is focus mode, and to get out of focus mode, escape key, and you are back out of it. Now, hiding pins is a little bit deceptive because it's essentially hiding all markup. So even though we have pins here, there's also the text highlighting you can see and the freehand drawing on this particular proof. So we've got a whole bunch of markup that's all over this proof. And, I just want to look at it clean sheet. I don't want to see other people's markup. I just want to see the proof so I can put my markup on it. So this next one in here, this is hide pins. Just choose hide pins and all of the markup disappears. Okay, so this is a great one for just parking it aside. Now you can read a clean sheet and see all of the aspects of the proof and then switch them back on again. Just click, just toggle it and it will just bring it back. And if you know the keyboard shortcut for this, it's really easy for you to do that. Right, bounce across now to invert pin color. So there are those proofs that happen to have the pin color is the same as the color of your brand. And you're just like, well, it would be great if I could sort of switch the color so I could see it. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can invert the pin color. And what that does is that will reverse the pin color and show up on your brand color. So that's useful for that. The other thing I would add to this is if you have got a brand color which matches the PageProof pin colors, you can change these in your profile, by the way. So you go over to the profile, and inside of there, you can actually customize the pin colors to your liking. So that's maybe a little side tip that you may not be aware of, but you can customize the pin colors for your particular use case. So, but if not, you can use that invert, and that will just invert the pin colors on your artwork. Let's move across to the next one. So now we're getting into this one, which is more about the actual proof itself. So this is about the outline you can put around side of it, the rulers and the grid lines. So these three together, putting the outline on just shows you, particularly if you want to really see where the defined edge of the page is, just switch it on and we highlight the outline. So now you can see there is a defined line here showing you exactly where the outline is on the proof. The reason this is done that way is so it isn't, we've got it so that it's white as it should be, so that when you're proofing, you don't think, hey, wait a minute, is there a thin gray line on our proof? But you can switch it off again so you can see what it would look like if it went to print. So the outline, great for just showing that defined edge, but you can turn it off again. Now the ruler tool. Ruler tool is a great tool. What this is used for is measuring elements on the page. So you can click on the ruler tool, and that will give you this little crosshair icon, which you can use to click and drag and measure elements on the page. So you can say, well, how wide is this particular part? And it'll give you the measurement of this, including the scale. Now you can change this, by the way, if you need to. If you want to change the scale, so if you're working in architectural diagrams and you want to change the scale and those sort of options, if you go across to the measurement pill in the bottom left-hand corner, you can change the scale here of what you'd prefer the scale to be for that. And if you are working in other units, you can also from here change this from maybe inches to millimeters or centimeters, depending on what you would like to see. So a couple of little tips there on setting up your ruler before you start using it. But when you've got the ruler in play, I just measured a horizontal line there. If you pull out diagonally, this will give you a box measurement. So you can see this is the width and this is the height. And we also give you a diagonal as well. So if you happen to be proofing television screens, you can see, or computer monitors, you can see what the actual size of those is. So this is the measurement tool. Okay, next one along is the Gridlines. So you go into Gridlines. This puts Gridlines around the outside of your page. And if you are in things like email proofs, it'll also give you it on those as well, JPEGs and the such. The idea of these is this mimics a feature very similar to a lot of the design tools where you can pull in a grid line and just make sure things are lining up the way you'd expect. So you can come in here and just pull in these grid lines. And if you hover over the grid line, it'll actually give you the position of it as well, and also the scale that the proof is set into. And that's all done again in the same relation to the ruler. So if you want to change the units or you want to change the scale, go over to the bottom left-hand corner here and change those as you would do for the ruler tool. So these are the grid lines. Great thing with grid lines is you can pull in multiple grid lines and you can really show where things should be lining up on your proof and making sure that everything as you would expect from an alignment perspective. Okay, next one we're going to go into. So we'll switch that off. Now there are two here which are actual full-blown features in their own right. And what I'm going to do is actually look at the PDF comment import first, because this is the proof that we're looking at. We'll come back to the barcode scanner. Now, PDF comment import, this is the end icon here. And this is just one of those tools which is super useful when you have a whole bunch of people in your team and maybe one person is not comfortable using online proofing just yet. And they want to keep using the PDF markup for some reason. We don't need to dive into the reasons. They just do. So you've got John. I'm just going to use John, and I apologize to people called John, but we're just going to use John, sits down at the end of the hall and just loves Acrobat. And John sends to you a PDF and says, here are my changes. And you think, this is great. I've got everybody else giving me markup inside of PageProof, but I've got one person giving me a PDF. What do I do with it? Well, the good news is with the PDF comment import in the Magic Tools menu, you can bring that markup off the PDF and put it inside of PageProof. So let's do that. So I choose import comments from PDF. I can then drag and drop or click here to choose a file. So I'm just going to grab hold of this, this file here. And as you can see from the preview, there's a whole bunch of markup here that John has put all over his file. So let's import that in. Ask me a couple of questions. You know, do I want to bring in the comment statuses and a few others? Click on import. What it's going to do now is it brings in all the markup off that PDF and it puts it on top of the proof inside of PageProof. So it's importing 6 comments from here. Okay, got it. And as you can see now, there's a whole bunch of different markup on here. So we can see that's showing up on this proof. And if I open up the comment pane, you'll see there's an icon here. It says it's from John, imported, and there's a PDF icon. So wherever you see this PDF icon, you know that the comments have come imported from a PDF. If it has a normal avatar like this, you know it's a PageProof one. And if you click on the metadata pill here, it's going to give you more information about where the comment came from. So really, really useful. As I said, the comment import from PDF, really great when you're wanting to bring everybody onto the same page so you're all working in the same tool. All of these comments now are going to show up inside of your Adobe Design tool, so you can now have your designer mark off the comments as done, and all of those things that you already love about PageProof, you can now include those people in your workflow. All right, I'm going to switch gears now, and we're going to jump in and take a look at the barcode scanner. Okay, so this was another one of those features which PageProof has added, and it's a fantastic feature here. And what this lets you do is you're able to check where there are barcodes on the proof that you may not see, and that is quite common. But it also, what it's going to do is it's going to give you some options on viewing the contents of that. So let's go to the Magic Tools. You'll see that there is a barcode scanner. Now, the name says barcode scanner. What it means is barcode and QR code scanner. So it does do both. Just to be clear, it will also detect QR codes as well. So if I click once on this, you'll see it's scanning for barcodes, and then boom, it pops up and says 4 barcodes found. And if you look at it, we have dimmed back the proof and we've popped out where those barcodes and QR codes are. Now, firstly, we'll go to the barcode. So this one over here, hover over it. It's going to give you the type of barcode and then the contents of the barcode. So you've got, okay, great. That's exactly what we expected. So we shouldn't get any scanning issues if this goes out into the market. But also, you'll notice underneath there, it says click for more options. If you click onto this, you can copy the contents of that to the clipboard. So you can use that for some other reason. But you can also create a comment referencing the barcode. So if I go create a comment, it's going to make a comment and I can add more context to that comment directly from inside of here. So super useful for that. Now, if I go over and take a look at the QR codes, these have a little bit more to them. So hover over a QR code. The first thing we do is show you the text contents of that QR code. So I can see, right, that's a URL QR code. And if I click for more options, you can see copy to clipboard, you can see create a comment, but for QR codes, open a new tab. So that's going to open that URL in a new tab, and I can check to make sure that we're going to the right place. So this feature, the barcode scanner / QR code scanner, is invaluable, especially for packaging design or anything that has any QR codes on it. You can do all of that proofing from directly inside of here. Now, knowing the keyboard shortcuts for these is also useful. I could have come straight into here and just hit the B key and boom, there is the barcode scanner. So again, keyboard shortcuts are definitely something that you can learn and really make good use of. All right, so while I'm here, it's another little piece of magic which we just released. So we've just released inside of the Zoom tool the ability for you to key in the percentage that you want. So you can just key in the amount and we'll do that zoom. So you've got that, and you can now go up to 1,000%. But if you look across, just sort of scan across the icons here, you'll see now that we have a marquee zoom. Marquee zoom, you click on the marquee zoom icon, you can then go to your proof and you can just click and drag over an area and it will zoom it to that area. So marquee zoom, we know a lot of people have wanted this. Here it is, we've delivered it for you, and you can use the marquee zoom for going in and just getting into the detail that you want. So we do have that feature available. Now I will again use the opportunity. We've got some amazing new features coming out in the next few weeks, and you can look at those in our fresh new features. So thank you very much, everybody, for your time today. And that is the PageProof Magic Tools. Have a great rest of your day.